The Teach Yourself series from ViaGrafix, designed to teach you to use your computer the fast and easy way.
I'm Leslie Thomas along with Paul Bartlett.
Presentations can enhance any idea, and Microsoft's PowerPoint helps you to create interesting and easy-to-understand presentations.
With PowerPoint, you can create a presentation for an overhead projector, slides, paper, or computer. You can create speakers' notes and handouts also.
PowerPoint includes all of the tools you need to create your presentation: word processing, graphing, outlining, and drawing.
We place the learning disk in the proper drive. Ours is A. At the hard drive prompt, ours is C. We type xcopy space A:** space C:** and press enter. At the file or directory prompt, we press D for directory. DOS creates the intro directory and copies the learning disk files into it.
When you finish this tutorial, simply delete the files and the intro directory using DOS commands.
We've made a complete installation of PowerPoint 4.0.
Let's open a file in the intro directory. We begin at the Program Manager.
At the Microsoft Office Group window, we double-click the MS PowerPoint program icon. We see the PowerPoint screen and the Tip of the Day dialog box. Every time you start PowerPoint, you will see a different message. To view all of the tips, use the Next Tip button. When you have seen all of them, simply remove the X in the box in front of the Show Tips at Startup option. We select OK and close the dialog box. If we disable the tips, then want to see them again, we select Tip of the Day from the Help pull-down menu. We see the New Presentation dialog box. We'll use it a little later. Let's view a sample presentation. We select the circle in front of Open an Existing Presentation. We choose OK and see the Open dialog box. We change to the C:\intro directory. We double-click samp1.ppt and we see the first slide of the presentation. Let's watch the show. We select the Slideshow button. It's the fifth one from the left at the bottom of the SAMP1 window. We advance each slide by clicking the mouse button. First slide. If you're looking for the vacation of a lifetime and you like to travel the old-fashioned way, second slide. Consider an exciting trip by airship. Third slide. Our rigid airships are 803 feet in length and 135 feet in diameter. With a load capacity of 30 tons, an airship is a truly elegant way of transatlantic travel. Fourth slide. Choose your destination from several European cities. We offer around-the-world tours also. Fifth slide. We offer competitive prices with discounts for senior citizens and groups. Sixth slide. For a free color brochure or reservation information, please call 1-800-AIRSHIP today. Thank you. We see a black slide for the presentation finish, and another mouse click returns us to the PowerPoint screen. Again, we see the first slide of the presentation in the slide view. PowerPoint offers 4 different views you can use to build and edit your presentation. For clearer viewing, we've maximized the Sample 1 presentation window. Let's take a moment to discuss the PowerPoint screen. At the top of the window, we see the title bar with the name of our sample file. Just below it is the menu bar. Next, we see 2 of PowerPoint's 7 toolbars: Standard, then Formatting. Use the toolbar buttons as menu command shortcuts. For a thumbnail description of any button, We place the pointer on top of it. We see spelling in the button's tooltip. With the cursor still on the button, we see a more detailed button description on the status bar at the bottom of the screen. When we move the pointer off the button, we see Slide 1 on the status bar, the currently displayed slide. We see the new slide, layout, and template buttons on the right side. In the center of the screen, we see the presentation window and the first slide. We see the drawing toolbar on the left side of the screen. We have a tooltip for each of these buttons also. We can move any of the PowerPoint toolbars. By default, all of them are docked or stationary. Let's dock the drawing toolbar at the right side of the screen. We place the pointer in a gray area. Then we drag the mouse and the outline to the right. When we see the outline change into a square, we release the mouse.
Our toolbar change is permanent until we reposition it.
You may pause the tape now to practice on your computer.
Use the buttons in the lower left corner to change the view of your presentation. Currently, we are in Slide View, and this active button is lighter than the others. Let's see the presentation another way. We select the Outline View button. It's the second one from the left. Since we are viewing the first slide, we see the first slide text highlighted. We see the outlining toolbar on the left side of the screen also. We see each slide's text. The second slide has a graphic and an object, so we do not see any text. Let's view the second slide. We place the pointer on the 2 and double-click. Originally, the fly an airship statement at the top of the slide was text. To achieve the curving effect, we converted the text into an object. We cannot see graphics and objects in the outline view. Let's look at all the slides at once. We move to the slide sorter view by selecting the third button from the left. We see a black outline around the second slide, signifying its selection. We choose the first slide by placing the pointer in the slide center and clicking the mouse. As we watched the slideshow, we discussed each slide, and we used PowerPoint speaker notes. Let's look at the notes by choosing the Notes Pages view. It's the fourth one from the left. We see the first slide and the text. PowerPoint can print each slide and its corresponding text on a separate sheet. The displayed slide and text size is the printed size. Let's close the presentation. We choose File, then the Close command.
We started PowerPoint and discussed the Tip of the Day dialog box. We opened and viewed a sample presentation.
We explained the parts of the PowerPoint screen. We displayed a toolbar button tooltip. We undocked a toolbar and moved it to the right side of the screen.
We displayed the outline view, then we returned to the slide view. We looked at the slide sorter view, then we moved to the Notes Pages view.
Finally, we closed the Sample 1 presentation.
Let's create a sample presentation for the Sun Blocking Curtains Company. We select File from the menu bar, then the New command. At the New Presentation dialog box, we have several ways to create one. Use the AutoContent wizard to help you decide the content and organization of your presentation by providing a basic outline. The Pick a Look wizard asks you questions about your desired presentation output, template design, and printing. Then, the Pick a Look wizard creates the presentation you edit. If you select the template option, You can choose from over 50 templates with predefined color schemes, fonts, and other design features. Selecting the blank presentation option displays an empty presentation. The color schemes, fonts, and other design features are set to default values. If you have a current presentation open, you can use its format. Let's use the AutoContent wizard. With this option selected, we choose OK. We see a brief description of the AutoContent wizard. We move to the text dialog box by selecting the Next button. We create the title slide here. With the insertion point blinking in the first line, we type Sun Blocking Curtains. We press the Tab key and move to the second line. We see the name entered when we first installed PowerPoint. We type Bill Johnson. We press Tab and move to the third line. We type Automatic Shades, Inc., and then press Enter. In the second line, we type Anytown, USA, 00000. Now we select the Next button. We want to sell a product. With this option selected, we select the Next button. We're finished with the AutoContent wizard. We choose the Finish button. PowerPoint creates the presentation, and we see the outline view.
You may pause the tape now to practice on your computer.
We see the text we entered earlier in the first or title slide. We want to state the product objective in the second slide. We place the insertion point just to the right of the objective text. We press Backspace to remove the text. The diamond bullet marks a paragraph demotion, so we do not want to delete it. We type, "Are your utilities too high?" We press the down arrow cursor key to move to the end of the State Your Desired Objective text. We clear the text by using the Backspace key. We type, "A proven way to lower cost." We clear the text in the next line. We type, "Use year-around." We move to the third slide, Customer Requirements. We clear the text. We type Home or Business hyphen EPA approved. We clear the text in the next line. Now we type usual cost savings of 25%. Now we clear the text in the next line. We type, "Blocks harmful ultraviolet rays." We'll finish the rest of the outline now. We'll remove the Meeting the Needs text by using the Backspace key. If you accidentally remove a bullet or icon, restore it by using PowerPoint's Undo command. We accidentally deleted the slide icon. To restore it, we select the Undo button on the toolbar. It's the 10th one from the left. PowerPoint restores the text and slide icon. Again, we'll delete the text. Now we'll type, how sun-blocking curtains work. We'll remove the text from the first bullet line and type light-sensitive fibers automatically adjust light. Now, we'll clear the text from this section may require multiple slide lines. Here, we'll type, curtain looks like regular fabric. We want to add 3 more lines to this slide. At the end of the second line, we press the Enter key, and we see another bullet. We enter the text for the next 3 lines. First, we type, dry cleanable. Then we press Enter and type 10 different colors. Now, press Enter again and type easy installation. Keep in mind that the bullet font size is 32 in our presentation. It's a good idea not to use more than 5 lines on any slide. Otherwise, we must use a smaller font size, and our audience may have a problem reading the text.
You may pause the tape now to practice on your computer.
We move to the end of the cost analysis text and press the backspace key to clear. Now we type, you can afford sun blocking. Now we move to the end of point out text and again clear the text with the backspace key. Now we type only 1/3 more in cost compared to commercial materials. Now we move to the end of Compare Costs text and clear. We type 5-year warranty against wear and tear. We move to slide 6 and clear the Our Strengths text. We leave the word Our. Here we type Satisfied Customers. We'll add the rest of the presentation information. As the information is being entered, here are a few tips for creating a good presentation. We don't want to add any more than 5 bullets. 10 items or bullets is too many for one slide, where 5 is just about right. We want to avoid small text. If a slide can't be read from the back of the room, it's probably because text is too small. 24 point should be the smallest text size for slides. Another tip is to avoid lengthy text. Slides should be brief and to the point. With all of the color schemes that come with PowerPoint, There is no reason why we should create our own. The color schemes within PowerPoint combine colors and work well together. It is also a good idea to keep the background of the slides simple. We don't want to add a lot of distracting clip art or graphs unless it is essential to the presentation. Finally, we need to keep the graphs we add to our presentations simple and concise. The most effective graphs are pie charts with 3 or 4 slices or a clean column chart.
Now, getting back to our outline, we have just removed the Next Steps text and are presently entering Free 30-Day One-Room Trial. We move to Specify, delete it, and type Try our product free for 30 days in one room of your house or company. We press enter and type, please, no more than 3 windows in the trial room.
We're finished with the outline. We move to the number 1 slide text by dragging the vertical scroll button to the top of the bar.
You may pause the tape now.
Our presentation is small for demonstration purposes. However, when we are creating a large presentation, it can be hard to see the entire outline structure. We can collapse the outline and display only the slide titles. We select the Show Titles button in the outlining toolbar. It's the 7th one from the top. We see only the slide titles. To expand the outline, we choose the Show All button on the outlining toolbar. It's the 8th one from the top. Let's display the title slide in Slide View. We double-click the 1, not the icon. Let's move to the second slide. We place the pointer on the Next Slide button. It's at the bottom of the vertical scroll bar and has 2 down arrows on it. We move to the third slide by selecting the Next Slide button again. We select this button twice more and move to the 5th slide. We see a double click to add Graph box. Also, we see the exclamation marks are on the second line. Let's reduce the font size and place all of the text on one line. We click anywhere on the title text and see the outline box. To change the font size, we need to highlight the text. We place the pointer on the Y in U. We drag the mouse down and to the right. We release the mouse. We move to the second toolbar, the Formatting toolbar. We select the down arrow in the font size. We'll choose 40 and see the change. To remove the outline box, we point and click in any blank area. We'll add the graph later. We want some text to appear on each slide. To do this, we need to move to the Slide Master View. We place the pointer on the Slide View button. We press and hold the Shift key. We select the Slide View button and we see the Slide Master View.
We want to display the same text on all the slides. Also, if we want to change character formats such as bold, italics, point size, and the font to entire paragraphs, we use the Slide Master View.
To add the text, we select the Text tool from the Drawing toolbar. It has a capital A on it. When we move the pointer into the slide area, we see it change into a down arrow. We position the down arrow just below the dotted line and in the lower left corner. We click the mouse and see a text outline box. We type in all capital letters, "Sun blocker curtains." We point and click in any blank area to remove the box. Let's center the text. We select it. We click the outline border and see handles around the box. You can use these handles to adjust the text size. To move the text box, we place the pointer on the border, not a handle. We drag the mouse and the dotted outline to the bottom center of the slide. When properly positioned, we release the mouse. We point and click in a blank area to remove the handles. Let's display the slide number on each slide. Again, we select the text tool from the drawing toolbar. We position the down arrow in the lower right corner of the slide and click. We type 2 pound signs. Then remove the box.
We can add the current date and time to the slide also. The characters we can add and their meaning include double slashes for date, double colons for time, and double pound signs for page number.
Let's return to the regular slide view. We select the slide view button. We see our text and the slide number symbol. Let's run a rehearsal of our slideshow. PowerPoint begins the show from the displayed slide, so let's return to slide 1. We place the pointer on the vertical scroll bar button. We drag the mouse and button to the top of the scroll bar. With the first slide displayed, we select the slideshow button. It's the 5th from the left in the left corner of the window. We advance the slides by clicking the mouse. We see the sun blocker curtain text on each slide and each slide's number. When we finish the show, we return to the presentation window.
You may pause the tape now.
We created a sample presentation by using the AutoContent wizard. We used the outline view to add text to our slides.
We discussed and demonstrated the undo command. We collapsed, then expanded the outline. We moved to the slide view and viewed some slides.
We reduced the text font size on one of our slides. We used the slide master view to add recurring text and the slide number. Finally, we ran a rehearsal of our show. Pictures can enhance our presentations, and we can choose from over 1,000 ClipArt images in the ClipArt gallery.
The ClipArt gallery works with several other Microsoft applications also. For example, if we have Microsoft Publisher installed on our hard drive, we will see its ClipArt in our PowerPoint ClipArt gallery.
We will be using the ClipArt gallery for the first time after installing PowerPoint, and we must add PowerPoint's ClipArt to the gallery.
If you have already used the gallery, you do not have to reinstall the ClipArt.
First, we move to the slide we want to place some ClipArt in. Slide 2. We select Insert from the menu bar, then the ClipArt command. At the Would you like to add ClipArt from Microsoft Office prompt, we answer yes. We see the Add ClipArt dialog box adding pictures to the ClipArt gallery. When PowerPoint finishes, we see the ClipArt gallery window. Let's place a picture of a utility meter in the slide. We highlight the Energy category. We move the scroll bar downward until we see the electric meter. Now we select it. At the bottom of the ClipArt gallery, we see the category and a thumbnail description of the selected picture. We choose OK, and PowerPoint places the picture into the slide. Let's reduce the size of the ClipArt. We place the pointer on the upper right handle. When we see the cursor change into a double-headed arrow, we drag the mouse down and to the left. When properly sized, we release the mouse. Let's move the ClipArt to the right. With the handles still displayed, we place the pointer in the center of the picture. We drag the mouse and the dotted outline to the right. When properly positioned, we release the mouse. We point and click in any blank area to remove the handles. Let's add a ClipArt of some currency to the 7th slide. To move there, we place the pointer on the vertical scroll bar button and drag downward. When we see the Slide 7 box, we release the mouse. Let's use a toolbar button to insert the ClipArt. We select the Insert ClipArt button. It has the head of a man on it. We highlight the currency category. Now, we double-click the Stack of Money ClipArt. It's the first one in the 2nd row. We return to the slide, and we see the ClipArt. Let's move its position. We will move it just below the text. Now, we remove the handles. Let's run the show again. We return to the first slide. We select the Slideshow button. Now we return to the presentation window. Whether your presentation is large or small, it's a good idea to save it frequently. Let's save the presentation. We select the Save button on the toolbar. It's the 3rd from the left. At the Save As box, we type Tutor 1 and then press Enter. We see the Summary Info dialog box.
You may pause the tape now.
When we create a presentation, PowerPoint automatically saves the file name, the directory it's stored in, the template name we are using, and the number of slides.
We can view the summary info anytime using the File Summary Info command.
Also, we can use PowerPoint's Find File command to search for a key word in the summary info.
If we work with a large work group or a network, we can use the summary information to quickly find the proper presentation. Let's enter the information.
With the insertion point blinking in the title box, we press the Delete key to remove the text. We type Sun Blocker Curtains. We press Tab and move to the subject line. We type Promotional Presentation. In the author line, we type Bill Johnson. In the keywords line, we type 30-day promo. In the comments box, we type promo offer valid until 12/94. We choose OK and PowerPoint saves the presentation. We see our file name on the PowerPoint title bar.
We installed PowerPoint's ClipArt into the ClipArt gallery. We inserted ClipArt into a slide. We reduced, then moved the ClipArt.
We moved to another slide. We used a toolbar button to insert another ClipArt. We ran the show and viewed the changes.
Finally, we saved the presentation and filled the Summary Info dialog box.
A chart or graph can present information in an easy-to-understand format. With Microsoft Graph 5, we can create one of several chart types.
Microsoft Graph 5 is an embedded application. In other words, it is a separate program, but you have to be in PowerPoint to use it. Let's create a chart.
We move to the 5th slide by using the vertical scroll bar. We place the pointer in the center of the outline. We double-click and Microsoft Graph starts. We see a new menu bar and toolbar. In the center of the presentation window, we see Graph Data Sheet. Use the datasheet just as you would any spreadsheet program. When we move the datasheet, we see a chart inserted into the slide. The sample data in the datasheet creates the chart. Let's edit the datasheet. We place the cell outline in the first quarter cell by pointing and clicking. We type spring. We press Tab and move the outline to the second quarter cell. We type summer. We type fall in the third quarter cell and winter in the fourth quarter cell. We move to the east cell. We type with. We move to the west cell and type without. Then move to the north cell. We do not need the third row. Let's remove its information. We select the 3-row label. We press the Delete key. We use the arrow cursor keys to move the outline to cell A1. We'll add the data information now. We're finished with the data sheet. To leave Microsoft Graph, we place the pointer in any blank area and click. In our bar chart format, the data isn't too clear. When we want to change our chart's type and other elements such as legends, labels, fonts, and colors, we can use AutoFormat.
Let's use AutoFormat to change our chart.
We place the pointer in the center of the chart. We double-click and see the Microsoft Graph menu bar and toolbar. We select Format from the menu bar, then the AutoFormat command. We can choose from one of 15 galleries. Each has several styles. We select the 7th style from the 3D column gallery. We choose OK and we return to the slide. Let's enlarge the chart. We place the pointer just below and to the right of the chart and click. We see a box with handles on it inside the chart outline box. We place the pointer on the upper right corner handle. When the pointer changes into a double-headed arrow, we drag the mouse to the right and up. When properly sized, we release the mouse. Let's rotate the chart. With the handles and outline border displayed, we select the chart. With the handles displayed, we place the pointer on the lower right corner handle. When the pointer changes into a crosshair, we drag the mouse to the right. We can rotate the chart any way we choose. Let's enlarge the legend. We select the legend's border. We place the pointer on the bottom center handle. When we see the pointer change into a double-headed arrow, we drag the mouse down. When properly sized, we release the mouse. We move the legend to the upper right corner of the chart by dragging it. Let's change the chart's background color. We place the pointer just above the chart. We double-click and we see the Format Plot Area dialog box. In the Area section, we select the black color swatch. We choose OK and return to the chart. We use the handles to fit the background into the chart's outline box. Let's add a title to the chart. With the chart still selected, we select Insert from the menu bar, then the Titles command. In the Titles dialog box, we choose the box in front of Chart Title. We select OK, and we see a text outline box at the top of the chart. To type the title, we place the pointer in the center of the box. We double-click and we see an insertion point. We press the Delete key to remove the title text. We type in capital letters, Utilities Comparisons. We're finished with the title, so we point and click in a blank area inside the chart outline. If we need more room, we can remove the legend. We select it. Next, we press the Delete key. We're finished with the chart. We press the Escape key 3 times to deselect the chart and exit Microsoft Graph. Let's save the changes. We select the Save button. It's the third from the left. Let's review what we've covered in Chapter 4.
We explained Microsoft Graph 5. Then we created a chart. We edited the data sheet. Next, we changed our chart type by using AutoFormat.
We enlarged, then rotated the chart. We enlarged, then moved the legend. We changed the chart's background color. We added a chart title. Finally, we saved the changes.
If we plan to run our presentation on a computer screen, we can use slide transitions.
We can choose from one of 45 different effects. Remember, the faster our computer is, the better the transition effect.
We assign transitions in the Slide Sorter view.
Move to the Slide Sorter view. It's the third button from the left. Before we assign our effects, let's remove the 6th slide. We select it, then we press the Delete key. Let's move the 4th slide to the 3rd slide's position. We place the pointer in the center of the slide. We drag the mouse and the outline directly on top of the 3rd slide. We release the mouse and see the change. We want to assign an effect to the 1st slide, so we select it. If you know which effect you want, you can simply choose it from the Transition Effects drop-down menu. However, if you want to see a preview of each effect, you can use the Transition dialog box. Let's take a look. We choose Tools from the menu bar, then the Transition command. We display the Effect menu. We highlight the blind's vertical transition and see the preview in the lower right corner. At this time, the default transition speed is fast. Also, the slides will advance only on a mouse click. Let's assign a random transition effect to all of the slides at the same time. We choose Cancel and close the Transition dialog box. With the first slide selected, we press and hold the Shift key. Now we select each slide. we release the Shift key. We display the Transition Effects drop-down menu. We highlight Random Transition. We point and click in any blank area to deselect the slides. We see a transition button beneath each slide in the lower left corner, signifying we assigned an effect to it. Let's view the slide transition for the 6th slide. We select the transition button several times and see the effect. Let's save our changes, then watch the show. We want to start the show from the first slide, so we select it. We choose the Slideshow button. We return to the slide sorter view. If we want to advance our slides manually or want to time each slide differently, we use the Slideshow dialog box.
We choose View from the menu bar, then the Slideshow command. If you want to only show part of your presentation, enter the slide numbers in the From and To lines. If you want to assign a time to each slide, choose the Rehearse New Timings option in the Advance section. If you want your show to run repeatedly, choose the Run Continuously Until Escape option. Let's time our slides. We select the Rehearse New Timings option. Now we select the Show button and we see the first slide. At the lower left corner, when we see the counter reach 7 seconds, we click the mouse. When the counter shows 5 seconds for the other slides, we click the mouse. When we finish the show, we see a message box. We see the slideshow time, in this case 41 seconds. We want to see each slide's timing, so we answer yes. We see the time of each slide in the lower left corner below each slide. Now, we must tell PowerPoint to use the slide's times. We return to the slideshow box by choosing View, then the Slideshow command. We see the Use Slide Timings option is no longer dimmed. We select it. We choose Show, and PowerPoint automatically advances each slide. If you want to stop a slide for any reason, select the Drawing button in the lower right corner of the screen. Now, move the mouse to see the Drawing button. We select it, and the pointer changes into a pencil. You can draw anywhere on the screen. PowerPoint removes all our drawing marks at the end of the show. Let's continue the show. We select the Doodle button again. Now we return to the slide sorter view. If we want to show our presentation on a computer that does not have PowerPoint installed, we can use PowerPoint Viewer.
Although we cannot create, print, or edit presentations with Viewer, our on-screen slideshow will appear the same as in PowerPoint.
Also, if we want to use a laptop computer for a presentation, just install PowerPoint Viewer on it.
Usually, PowerPoint Viewer comes on a separate disk, and we did not automatically install it.
Microsoft grants us permission to copy and give PowerPoint Viewer along with the presentation.
We can print our slides on paper or overhead transparencies. Let's take a look at the print dialog box. We choose File from the menu bar, then the Print command. You can print slides, notes pages, the handouts with your choice of slides per page, or the outline.
If we are printing overhead transparencies, it's a good idea to print a proof copy of the slides on regular paper.
We select Slides and close the Print What menu. Your default printer is the one you selected when you installed Windows. If you installed more than one driver and want to change your default printer, select the Printer button. We select the Printer button and we see the Print Setup dialog box. In the printer's list, we see a ViaGrafix driver on Jenny Driver.
The ViaGrafix company includes their software with PowerPoint.
ViaGrafix specializes in computer graphics. We can send them our presentation on disk or by modem. We select Cancel twice and return to the Slides view. We save our changes. We close PowerPoint by choosing File from the menu bar, then the Exit command.
We explained slide transitions, then we assigned a random transition effect to each slide. In Slide Sorter View, we deleted a slide, then moved another.
We assigned a time to each slide. We used the drawing button on a slide. We discussed PowerPoint Viewer. We viewed and explained the print dialog box.
We discussed the ViaGrafix software included with PowerPoint. Finally, we closed PowerPoint and returned to the Program Manager. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the amount of material we've covered, don't.
With video training, you can rewind and review sections again until they are clear.
We at ViaGrafix would like to thank you for choosing our company for your computer training needs.
Remember, if you plan to learn PowerPoint or any other computer software, there is no better way than through video training with ViaGrafix.